Yes, today is your turn. If you behave, be good, I will give you an extra probe for dinner. The Zergling is the Zerg's basic melee unit. They can be morphed from larvae so long as a spawning pool is present on the map. For the cost of only 50 minerals and 1 supply, you too can order up 2 Zerglings from the hatchery's Easy Bake Oven. That's right, it's 2 lings per egg. They come out with 35 life, 0 base armor, and the following tags: light and biological. Their unbelievably creative attack, known as Claws, deals 5 damage every 0.5 seconds to enemy targets within melee range. It's very nice DPS, but comes with the risk of having to be within coughing distance of whatever it's trying to eat. Trade-offs, I suppose. There are 2 research options available at the spawning pool for Zerglings. The first is Metabolic Boost. Costing only 100, this upgrade is undeniably crucial for any Zergling-focused composition. Once researched, this upgrade increases the movement speed of all of your Zerglings from 4.13 to 6.58. Let me repeat that. 6.58 off creep. The second research is adrenal glands. Unavailable until a hive is present on the map, this 200 upgrade will increase the attack speed of Zerglings from 0.5 seconds to 0.35 seconds. You do the math on those numbers. It's worth it. To ask when should I use Zerglings would be like asking if a medieval feast should include bread. Both are such key pieces of their respective puzzles. Even if you're wanting to build a Roach Hydra composition, Lings and Queens are all you're going to get for the first few minutes of your crucial droning. For an actual Zergling composition, one of, if not the most important thing to remember is keeping up with your injects. Larva is a resource, just like minerals and gas. You need to have plenty of it for ling production. Lings are not larva friendly. It's not uncommon to see additional hatcheries made purely for extra larva production, commonly termed macro hatches. Engaging into combat with Zerglings, utilize their speed, their mobility to go for a surround on your target. Sometimes you may just want to A-move and control other forces such as banelings. Sometimes you may want to issue a few move commands past the target with your Zerglings, and then give them an A-move once you're past to seal the surround. Concaves are helpful, sure. Split your forces to try and come in from a different angle. Generally, your entire goal with Zergling combat is to get into melee with as much surface area as possible. The more lings that are actually connecting and hitting the target, the better for you. There is also the use of Zerglings in counterattacks. Their mobility can help them to circumvent an opponent's army, and their mineral cost efficiency means that trading for even just a few workers can be beneficial. Keep some of them on a separate control group, move in once in a while, and keep your opponent second-guessing their push. But Indigos, can I cheese with Zerglings? Of course you can. I wouldn't really recommend it, but many a spawning pool is made before the hatchery. Whether it's a 12 pool, a 14 pool, or simply a macro-oriented pool first, you can absolutely start up the building, make an overlord, bank up 3 larvae, and then send those hungry critters across to cause some chaos. Finally, Zerglings have the ability to morph into banelings, whilst a baneling nest is present on the map. These toxic relationship lovers are much too special, much too useful to go over here, and thus got their own unit guide video. The Zergling, a staple for as long as Starcraft has been in existence. With their low health and armor, it is not unrealistic to say that everything can kill them. A discussion of counters is more centered on a few highlight units that can be included in standard compositions, as well as some ideas for tactics. Remember I said that the key with Lings was getting a surround? Well, the counter to that would obviously be don't get surrounded. Alternatively, some units have such high damage or range that they can deal with Lings before a surround occurs. At the end of the day, you need enough forces to survive the swarm, as you should never mathematically be able to outnumber Zerglings. Any air-to-ground unit is obviously going to be effective, so I won't be covering all of those options. Aside from that, consider anti-light and splash damage sources to try and exploit the Zergling's weaknesses. Terran players, you are liable to see Zerglings coupled with Banes to combat your bio forces, or perhaps as a counterattack force to undermine your mech army. Stim Marines are an amazing core counter if you're into the bio compositions. However, try not to let them give a Baneling a hug. Mech lover, Hellbats are insane. Give them their blue flame upgrade from the factory's tech lab to help increase their damage versus light tagged targets. For splash damage options, the choice between Widow Mines and Siege Tanks is a little flexible. They both have very different playstyles. The Widow Mine is able to one-shot entire hordes of Lings, but are only decorative versus buildings or more armored threats. Siege Tanks have their extended range, but are rather useless if the Zerglings happen to get on top of them. Protoss, I think I'll start with this. The Forge. No, not for cannons. Bad. +1 ground weapons allow Zealots to kill Zerglings in 2 attacks instead of 3, which is just supremely helpful if you take a minute to think about it. An Oracle opener will allow for competent base defense, since the Oracle's Pulsar Beam deals bonus damage versus light targets. As you move into the late game, truthfully, any splash damage option other than disruptors is going to at least be partially effective. Archons are already fantastic and highly recommended thanks to their anti-biological attack. Colossi can be a reliable source of ranged anti-light splash, but they are quite vulnerable to a plethora of other Zerg threats. Lastly, as much as I would like to recommend Psionic Storm, Zerglings move so quickly that the Storm becomes more of a deterrent spell than an actual counter. It's useful if the Zerg commits or is not paying much attention, but you're probably better off to stick with Charge Lots and Archons. Zerg players, the first few minutes of any ZVZ match is usually all about Lings and Banes. Zerglings can be great for sniping off both queens and drones, but are vulnerable to pretty much everything above Zergling tech. Banelings will require more control, but are able to take out entire packs of Zerglings under the right conditions. Roaches are a bit more slow in their movement, but are also more durable and will scale much better into the mid-game Roach Wars. Be sure to give them +1 ranged attack to give them the same benefit that the Zealots get, 2-shot instead of 3. Lurkers are going to be your choice for both late-game splash damage option as well as base defense against counterattacks. Well, would you look at that? I made it through an entire unit guide video without recommending the Viper. Weird. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, have a great day.